Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Nima. Today I'm making my card submission for the Kendra's September 2025 color palette challenge. And this month the card selected is the 219. This is from Sarah Renae Clark. Is the color palette or the color box. And for me, as I saw the card, immediately I thought about tropical flowers. And I have this die that it is from, here is from Elizabeth Craft Design. And I'm gonna make this Birds of Paradise flowers with some of the leaves, and I'm gonna place them on a background that I'm gonna do using an embossing folder in black. So I went and selected some of the base colors, and I found some cards that I can use as a starting point. I will have to kind of make the colors match a little better, some of them, that green being one of them, this other green, and then we have this pink that I'm gonna intensify that pink to make it look more like the one on the box, and then of course we have the black. And for the black, I already use the embossing folder, and I added a little bit of ink in here. I started using this pigment ink in white to create a foundation, so I could lay it on top the colors. And the color that I put on top, it was let me see, I have it in here. I put on top this Seedless Preserve, and what I did, I put that one on directly on the embossing folder. You can see the the little bit of a mess that I still have in there, and because it was too intense, I pull a little bit from using this paper. So when it went on the cardstock, that it was still in place in the same location, I was just getting a little bit of the ghost color, a little bit, right? So that's when I use that when I want to achieve a tone of ink or color that I don't really have on my stash. So you can mix colors, yes you can. Right, so I'm gonna cut all my pieces in here, and I'll be back. So I have all my pieces cut in here, and I'm gonna start bringing the color so I can get to something as close as possible to these colors in here. So for the orange in here, I'm gonna add fire bricks on top of this orange in here. That is really close to the colors that I want. This is just gonna help shading a little bit, giving it a little bit of a shadow. And just it helps with with giving a little bit of three-dimensionality to the piece as well. And when it gets a little drier, I'm gonna I'm gonna add a little bit of vintage photo on top, just because I like the look that it gives it to the, especially when it works with flowers. Now these 3 pieces in here, on these 3 pieces, I definitely have to work a lot to get to the tone, but I do have the exact color that I need, that is Seedless Preserve. And when we start with a color, the color cardstock, it's a lot easier to get to the tone that we want. Get faster. All right, let's put them for now in here. And if we need to add another shade of any other color, we can do that as well. Let's go now. This in here, I'm just gonna add a little bit of orange in here. That's the center of my flower. And just dab a little bit, and it creates that shading in there. So I have those. Let's put them back on the side. I think I'm gonna go back to these ones. And for the green, I'm gonna add, I have this evergreen, and I'm just gonna shade a little bit with this evergreen just to get a little darker in here. All right. And I just want to get kind of on the center, the stem in here. And then at the tip of every leaf, just a little bit. Just to create that tone in there. Let's see if I can show you better in here. See? I just loaded the side so I could go over the stem. And then on the tips of the flower. My hands are gonna be multicolors by the end of this card. Okay. For my big leaves in here, just adding more like a tone on tone, well, a little darker. Just again, work with creating a little bit of dimension. And I'm going from the center, I should say, yeah, to the center of the flower, of the leaves. Okay. the excess, and I'll bring it in a little bit. Okay. And then this one's in here. For these ones, I'm just gonna go a little bit on the edges. And I'm gonna have two small ones. One or two small ones, and then one of the big ones. All right. Mentioned that I wanted to add a little bit of vintage photo to the orange, just to intensify that orange in there. Kind of near the base of the flower. And I'm adding a little bit of purple to this in here, just to make them look a little more burgundy. Mulberry, that is the color. So I'm using purple in here. That is a Villainous Potion. It is, yeah. And I just want to go over this color in here, just to intensify again the color, make it look a little more intense in here, more similar to the color that I want. Okay. All right, I'm loving all these colors in here, but I also have a mess in my hands. I have to clean my hands, clean all this so we can put this card together. I'm gonna put together my flowers first. And this one goes in here. And then it's this purple. It actually got it to be like a pretty much the same color. Okay, so I have my panel already mounted to an A2 card, and I'm gonna start positioning my flowers. And I have 3 flowers, but depending, you know, I might end up with only 2 of the flowers. They're actually kind of big flowers. I love the contrast. And I'm gonna play with the position of the flowers. Let's put some of the leaves in here. So I think I'm gonna bring this one down a little. Leave this space for my sentiment. And then I put a leaf in here and one of the green ones around there. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start with this big one in here. Adding some glue. I want this one to be almost kind of really high. Add a dab of glue in here. And then this one, slanted a little bit, but kind of coming from the same base. All right, then I'm going to put these 2 leaves in here, and then one of this one coming out from the base. All right. So let me add the one that it will be on the back first. Just putting the glue. Yep. All right. And then the big one. Right in here. I still have this color in here, and what I did is that from the cardstock that I have that matches that color, I cut the background of hello friend, and then the words are in black. The shadow is in that color. And let me add some embellishment and my card will be done. As an embellishment, I'm adding some clear drops from Trinity Steps. And I'm just gonna put a few of them. There's different sizes. And I just want to add, let's see, let's put a big one in there. And the mid sizes around in here. And they just look like water drops. And this is my color, my card, using all the colors from card number 219. I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you pretty soon with another card. Bye.